happy Friday the 13th. Goddess energy all around, Venus and divine feminine. And I'm so charged up from teaching this workshop that I decided to come on live and share a couple of awesome things with you. Hi, loves. Oh, I just taught this workshop called the Dream Rave, and it was so amazing. I was literally reading a comment that came in, like everybody loved it, so insightful. So I decided to come on and tell you in case you need to also learn these things. What is the Dream Rave and what are we talking about? So human design, some of you know about human design and the way that the energy moves through our bodies, right? Kind of like astrology has an understanding of planetary interaction into, the birth charts, and numerology also like speaks numbers and decodes the universe. Human design has a place where it's the energy allocation in the systems of the body, but also it's very insightful, and nobody's talking about this stuff, about the dream state, which in human design is called the Dream Rave. And nobody has really crossed this path. The people that talk about human design don't really get into it. And to me, this is a zone of so much insight, right? Like we actually spend a third of our life in our sleep. So like there's things, there's insights, there's knowledge. And so it's called this sleep rave in human design because did you guys know that our energy composition shifts completely? Most of us, the majority of us, 99% of the people, flip switches. So from daytime, the way that you are in the day is completely different to the way that you are when you sleep. And those of you that understand the energetic types of human design, the majority of people shift into 70% of the human population shifts into reflectors at night, which means we actually absorb the energy of other people. So do you think your environment and where you sleep is important? So important. Who you sleep next to and the way that you connect to the different planes where your subconscious and your unconscious and your spirit actually accesses information. It is so fascinating. And it's the first time that I talked about it, and it's so much information that I couldn't actually fit it inside of Metamorphosis, the course. So I decided to do a bonus. And if anybody's interested in this, the benefits that come out of knowing this is you will learn to program yourself for success, for like health, for abundance, for joys, for answers, for the things that you actually want to work towards in your wake life. You can utilize your sleep time and your sleep channels and your sleep gates. We have these portals inside this workshop. We went through each one and understanding how to utilize them in sleep. It is so cool. It is like this whole new realm of like, oh my gosh, we can do this. This makes sense. Like I'm not crazy. Like I didn't make that up. Like this has a purpose. This has a reason. Like it's so exciting. And to just know that we have more to work with, right? Of understanding, of utilizing our energy field. And there's all sorts of wild stuff that we talked about, from like violent dreams to like sex dreams to accessing the Akashic records when you sleep dreams, like to utilizing that access. And the wild thing is that you can see it. We mapped it out in the design charts, and you can actually see it. And I've listed all of the different things and what happens, and they're not the same gates, they're not the same meanings as during daytime. And so it's like, if we can access these rhythms, these patterns, and this energy in our sleep that codes our DNA unconsciously and subconsciously, holy shit, now we have so much more to work with. Now we have so much more that can rejuvenate us, recharge us, and support us during the daytime, right? We've just like unlocked a whole new level of like making life more supportive for us. So it's exciting. If you have like weird dreams, if you have like, if you don't sleep very well, if you wake up in the morning and you're like unsatisfied, or like you don't feel very good, or like you have questions, like you kind of have like, oh my God, like what happened, you know, or I dreamed this dream and I don't know what it means. Like, these are all things that we talked about inside this workshop, and I gave you specific ways and practices to work with your energetic field to support your sleep design and the sleep rave state. So it was really, really cool. And I also have people, it was really interesting. I literally just got a message from somebody that was inside of the workshop, because did you know that like, depending on who you sleep next to, if you have different energy activations in your like in your chakra system, but in your design centers, that's what human design calls them, you actually can pick up other people's dreams. You can dream other people's dreams, or they can dream your dreams. We can be affected by like wild amounts of energies in our environment and in the collective, in like the tribal places. Like, it's wild. And understanding what we're dealing with, what its purpose is, how to utilize it, and you know what to do, like especially when you're sleeping next to a person, it makes all the difference. Like, I literally just got this from somebody that was inside the workshop, and this is what it said. I'm going to read it. Obviously, I'm not going to say what it is, but it was, "Thank you so much. That was very insightful. I'm on the journey of human design and the gene codes. So experiencing this has clarified a lot for me, and I'm so excited for Metamorphosis," because this was a bonus for Metamorphosis, "as everything that we were talking about here has started to really come to life in my world. Now I feel like this version of me is preparing itself." And it's interesting about like these different, there's like, we have access to like what's called the demon realm, which is not really like a scary realm, but in our sleep state. And she's saying like, "I felt that so much. It's interesting to understand how this works. And now I know how to do this for my children and my partner." And like really understanding, you know, how to utilize your energy. It's going to make all the difference. It's going to make all the difference. Like, so excited. I love getting these messages. I love getting the insights, and I love making this new knowledge available. So if you're curious, okay, we went over these 3 different planes and all of the 15 gates that we can access during our sleep rave state, and the information, how to manage the knowledge, the informations, and the channels that we have for better life when you're awake, for better sleep, for better health, for better just nervous system, you know, recovery, for everything. So it was super interesting. It's called the Dream Rave Workshop, and it's now available for you to have. You're going to be able to have instant access to it. And then if you do love it, and if you feel like you want to continue learning about these things and how to really, like, when you start to really understand, like, wow, you know, I can do cool stuff. I can program myself. I'm actually really, you know, understanding my uniqueness, how to work with myself, how to work with my skills, with my talents, with my abilities, with the, you know, what I was born with, instead of like so often we like, you know, try and shift into something else without understanding what we're working with. And here it's like, it's so important. It's like, these are the ingredients. This is what we're working with. And then we're going to move into, you know, shifting into who we want to be. So it's really cool because now you're building in a way that is, you know, foundationally solid. So it's so cool. Any of you that are interested or curious, message me. And then this was a bonus because it's so much information. I couldn't fit it in the course. It's a bonus inside of Metamorphosis. And any of you that from this workshop then, you know, want more, you can tell me and I'll give you your money back towards Metamorphosis because we do this, okay? And Metamorphosis is the course. It's a 9-module, full, all-inclusive course to transform. It's like where we go from caterpillar to designing the full butterfly and the next version of who you are, but actually designing it. So working with higher self, working with subconscious, working with sleep state, like We're using it all, right? So it's all the knowledge, all the skills, everything that I have learned so far in one place where you can literally start and you're this person, and then in 9 modules, right, you will be a completely different person, reprogrammed patterns, new ways of being, new personality, new identity. And those of you that have ever done identity work, you understand that's it. It's however we identify ourselves, however we think of ourselves, we identify, right? If you identify as somebody that always struggles, let's just say with love relationships or with romantic relationships, and if that's the identity that you carry, you're going to continue to find partners that present in that romantic struggle, right? If you identify as somebody who is, for example, broke or who can't make ends meet, like you're going to continue to like broadcast that pattern in your life. If you identify as someone, if you truly identify as someone who's successful and who lives in financial overflow, right? Or who is always in successful love relationships, or who is easily loved by someone, then that's the reality you're going to manifest. The thing is, between us identifying as those identities, like I want to be like this when I grow up, right? And everything else, it's like all of our belief systems, all of our conditioning, all of our programming. And so in this course, we're moving through all of that, and it's called metamorphosis. So we're going to cocoon you and like, transform into the butterfly, full wings, full wings. So amazing. Okay. So, and we're going to utilize sleep. So interested, a quad R emotional generator. Are most of us reflector when asleep? Yes. So if you are, and it actually, you know what's so funny? It doesn't make any sense. Like you can be, I have seen, tonight we had generators turning into manifesting generators at night, projectors turning into reflectors, generators turning into reflectors. What do we have? Reflector turning into, generator turning into a projector at night. I mean, it's just all mixed. I was like, oh my gosh. And so if you understand, right, like those of you that understand the insight to human design, if you add this to it, you're like, oh my gosh, because it's like you're dealing with the same kind of system, except in sleep time, you have 5 energy centers that are that are active instead of the 9. Okay. So we work with 5 energy centers, and there's only 15 gates that are functioning at night. So all of the energy now all of a sudden moves differently in the body, and they have like their sleep, time channel activation. And all of a sudden we're like dealing with all these other things at night. And for the longest time, like I struggled sleeping with partners. Now I can share a bed, and I understand why. I've had like, I would wake up in the morning, or I'd have like the weirdest dreams. I couldn't understand what they meant, right? And no dream interpretation will give you those kinds of answers, because that's not what it is, right? And then you figure out how you actually, like, I would wake up personally confused, or I would wake up like pissed off, or like, a lot of people will wake up drained or like tired or confused, or kind of like, why would I dream about that? Like all sorts of like weird dreams. And so this, you start to understand and make sense and make use and understand like what are the gifts that are associated with those, with having that kind of activity in the dream realms, and what you access and where you go. So yeah. And most people turn into reflectors, which is interesting because you have, like, as a reflector, you absorbed the environment, right? And so think about how important who you sleep with, who your neighbors are, right? Like how you know how to work with your aura and like the environment that you're sleeping in when you travel. Like there's so many things. And so Justin, this is funny. I'm going to strap the wings on behind you to stay grounded through it all. That's funny. We will grow wings. That's funny. I know there's like a lot. I like to just get into things, and we like to go fast. I like to understand things, but I like to make them efficient. Like it's one thing to know and have knowledge and understand things, but to me, it's like knowledge is really cool, but let's make use of it. Let's actually figure out like how do we like do cool stuff that helps us in life with it? How do we make it practical? So it's very cool. Jessica, it was fabulous. I'm impatient to learn more now. Jessica was in the workshop. Yeah, it was really cool. Wasn't that interesting to be like, oh my gosh, yes, that is so true. That is how I experience it. Now I understand this, and it's the more we understand how unique we are, the more we are able to unlock our unique purpose, our missions on this planet, to actually feel good about what we're doing on the planet, like how we show up in the world. That's the stuff that truly makes us feel good, right? It makes us feel alive. It makes us feel empowered. So I freaking love it. So yeah, any of you that are interested or this information is kind of curious, let me know. And it's linked in here in my bio at Sonia G _Godfrey. And it's the Dream Rave State Workshop. Okay. Very cool. And you'll have like a 2, because we were going to go 1.5 hours, but we went 2 hours because it was awesome. So it's a 2-hour workshop. And then you also have a download PDF that's like fucking gold, because you won't find this information anywhere else on the internet of all the gates and what they do and the different realms and how you can start to decode, and you'll be able to do everybody else's charts. So it's really cool to interpret the sleeping world around you. So yes. I love how roles are being flipped, like Miss Virgo talking about the dream. I know. Do you know what's so weird? And we're entering the eclipse season. We are entering the eclipse season. So the way that I felt about, I told this story on the workshop today. So the way that I found out is I was on I have 3 human design app, because I like it. It makes sense. I understand that I work well with certain types. It's helpful to understand. I generally have, all my people mapped out, but there's one of these 3 apps that I was just kind of messing around one day, and I was looking at these transits. I'm learning and understanding more of human design. And then it was the sleep design. And I was like, wait, what is this? We have a sleep design? And all of a sudden this whole new chart comes up, and I was like, what does this mean? So I started studying it in the same way that it was kind of by accident, right? And so then I found out that there's no real information on the internet, that you have to go back to the founder and their original knowledge that has been channeled for years, but that nobody has been making sense of or utilizing. And so it's not even out there. Nobody talks about this stuff, even in human design, people that do human design. And so it was I felt this curiosity, kind of when I discovered the moon cycles, back in the days when I started teaching, and it became Moon Babes, right? Because I was oh my gosh, the moon, it pulls up all of our emotions, and then there's the cycle and we can sync with it, right? And then I started learning about all these patterns and these rhythms, and it was by accident, because I was trying to sleep better back then, even years ago, 2017, 2016 or something like that. I was figuring out how to sleep better at night, because I was having a hard time sleeping with the person I was with at the time, and I wasn't getting quality sleep. And I downloaded this app that was about just tracking your sleep. And one of the variables was the phase of the moon. And at the time I was like, what does the moon have to do with any of this? I'm here, I'm sleeping. And and that's how I discovered the cycles of the moon, the rhythms of the moon, and started syncing all the things. And I feel like this is another one of these moments where I accidentally found something that not very many people know about. Think about how many people now do moon circles and understand the power of a full moon and the clearings and the cycles, and the women's cycles and the rhythms. planned with it. Like now it's common knowledge, but we're talking like, you know, years ago. And so this is going to be a thing. Like, I feel like this is kind of like these things, like I stumble upon them and then I test them out and I'm like, oh my gosh, I reprogram myself into a whole new person. I'm this whole new version of me now. This is awesome. Now I'm going to start teaching you guys about this stuff. So that's how this Virgo is grounding in this knowledge. That's awesome. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So, yeah, so many stories. So many stories. Gemma says, absolutely incredible and so helpful to use this information to transform reality. Yeah, Gemma was in the workshop too. It was so cool. So it was like fun to be like, oh my gosh, this and that. And I identify with this. This makes sense, or I can use it this way. So very cool. So yes. And we are on the Virgo Pisces axis because we just had the new moon in Virgo and now we're having the lunar eclipse in Pisces, which is a whole new awareness of self. What is Pisces? Pisces is the self, right? Everything that has to do with the self. Eclipses actually take things out. They're going to like literally, I think a lot of people are going to be like, holy shit, I need that one course called Metamorphosis that this girl was talking about. Because eclipses take out an identity. They take out parts of our lives. They just take things out. Like eclipses eclipse things. They pick us up in one place and they drop us off in another, right? They're kind of like timeline jumps, or they can take people out of our lives. They can bring new people in. They can, and when it comes to like Pisces, this is like self-identity, right? So a lot of people are shedding through layers and letting go. And that's not by accident that we're starting the first module of Metamorphosis on the day of the eclipse, of the lunar eclipse, because emotionally we are transforming and it's a whole new identity level of self. This is going to start, since we haven't talked about this, I'll tell you this. This is going to start a whole new sequence of events that we're going to go into for this next season with the equinox and everything, but it's our uniqueness. We've done a lot of like work. It's art with the tribes and with the energy of the collective and understanding the subconscious, the unconscious, right? Like the collective energy. We're shifting into a time where it's our unique imprint on the collective. It's our unique way of utilizing our gifts, our knowledge, our talents, our skills within the collective. And it's going to be like emerging into new layers of who we are, right? Like rethinking, reimagining, and rebirthing ourselves into the kind of people that we want to be within, you know, this framework of reality. So now that we've understood the you know, the energy of the collective, there's going to be a lot of that. And so really redefining who we are on all the levels of who we are is going to be like a game changer. And that's why I'm teaching Metamorphosis, that I'm really excited about, because we're about to enter in this whole new realm. And so it's the deeper understanding of who we are, what we're capable of, and how we choose to live life on this planet, and how we are in claiming of this sovereignty, right? It's like new layers that are coming in. It's exciting. That's going to make all the difference. A lot of people are going to feel like, with everybody that's awakening now, everybody that's like activating, a lot of people are going to be like in the beginning layers, right, of the awakening and of the ascension. They're going to need more guidance. They're going to need to move through it, but they're going to need to move through it so fast because like the curve is like, you know, there's a whole lot. The energy is a whole lot now. So everybody is really needing to be activated into their higher identities and who we really, you know, like the next levels of who we came to be on this planet. But the thing is, for a lot of us, we don't know what that is because we came to create it. Some people are very clear on who they want to be when they grow up. Some of us came with like, we get to create it as we go. We are the only ones that can limit ourselves, and we are the only ones that can create ourselves as big as we choose to, and as much as we understand about being able to claim into our sovereignty and fill into with all the rest of our knowledge and our skills, right? Creation. We are creators of our experience. We are literally in the raw energy of creation because we have all this new energy. The planets have, done all this alchemy to give us like new ingredients and new, feels, new, I want to say almost like just new, it's new energies, it's new frequencies, new ways of life, right? And if we don't shift, we're going to feel like what's going on. Like reality feels stagnant. It feels overwhelming and it feels stagnant because it's time to go. It's time to move. It's time for us to shift, to elevate, and to actually utilize our creative abilities on a whole new level. This is like where it gets raw and real. It's like, holy shit, we're really doing this. We're like inventing, creating, right? So it's exciting. So very exciting. I'm so excited to start this new journey. Tess, yes, I'm so excited that you are in. Love, love, love. Ooh. I've been talking for a long time. So I love you all. You know where to find me. I hope you got what you needed out of this quick live. I hope you're having an amazing Friday night. Thanks for hanging out with me. And remember that we have our giveaway this month that's happening on both Instagram and YouTube. So there's 2 platforms. And if you haven't heard about the giveaway yet, it's pinned at the very top of my page. By liking, commenting, and either sharing or tagging a friend on every post for this month, you can win in the giveaway. You can be the winner of a reading with me, of 2 scholarships, and I can't remember, I think we did a reading and 2 scholarships, like something like amazing. And if you've never had a reading with me, it's quite an experience. Like it's a really, really like extraordinary experience to have. And I can help with resolve anything in life, give you the answers, track your energy, tell you where you come from, tell you where you're going, right? I have like this wildly cool astral plane axis. If you've ever wondered, right, where did you live before Earth, and where'd you come from, and what are your, your imprints coming from, or this partner of this timeline, or this business, or this things, like these are things that I can track for you and I can give you answers on. It's a lot of fun. Or shifting through things. So yes, thanks for the love. I love that you got to experience such an amazing trip. Yes, thank you, Cami. Oh my gosh. I just had, and I have a little raspy voice, and I caught a little like extra sun. So I'm a little like congested from the weather difference, but my body's adjusting. I just got back from Cabo, and I have the Cabo tan, Cabo San Lucas, for the first time with Henry, and it was absolutely extraordinary. We need to like do a live on it because we went to this arch. It's called At the Land's End, and it's literally where like 2 oceans meet, and this like vortex of energy like is like just at this end of the land before like the whole ocean over there. And it's like, it's such a feeling. It's like so magical for, saying all the words, magical, but it's powerful. It's very powerful. And yeah, it was amazing. I started saying I'm the luckiest girl in the world. And these things keep on going. They keep on happening. So take that affirmation on. Okay. I love y'all. My phone is going to die. I will see you soon because we're going to have Monday Night Live soon. And definitely check at the top of the Instagram page at the top of the grid. There's all the rules for the giveaway. And if you're not on my YouTube channel, go on there. It's so fun. We actually share content like little shorts now. And so you can kind of like scroll through and like get these little snippets of just different lives and different videos. It's different than what we share here on Instagram. And it's at Moonwaves and the Light Tribe by Sonia G. That's the name of the Instagram. That's the name of the YouTube channel. I've been talking for too long. And you can comment on there. And there's not as many people that are commenting and liking on YouTube. So the chances of winning are like super high. So go on there, subscribe, and like and comment. And yeah, I will see you all soon in my stories and in my DMs. Happy weekend.